record to the cloud. That never happened before. And all
Oh,
those beautiful verses. Should we read them again?
I think we should.
Okay. Pretty beautiful. It'd be a shame if it was only me and you. And this whole thing is about that there is no me and you.
In Nome's teachings, there's some transcribed question and answer where someone asked him if the master-disciple relationship ever becomes unnecessary. And his answer was, well, eventually the disciple will become unnecessary.
Yeah, that was a good answer.
Yeah, it's one of his diamonds. Since we just started recording and we're gonna go back a little bit, I wanted just to say that I'm wearing my Marvel t-shirt today.
Great
And
Marvel villains.
yeah, that's because I marvel at your grace.
Yeah, wonderful. It reminds me also of Ananta,
It
who
does?
is my master, let's say,
Uh-huh.
for today. Because he used to always wear t-shirts like this. He doesn't really anymore. He matured. That was the way I thought of it. He just changed his clothes, I don't know. But in the beginning, he used to wear like superhero t-shirts and all these kind of fun t-shirts. I don't know what changed. But it reminds me.
Well, maybe I'm a follower of his too then.
Yeah, we're all followers of the same.
There you go.
It's different forms.
Mm.
It's like this is like no differentiation.
Mm. So, would you like to read the title of the chapter one more time?
I would love to. Nadaga's declaration of his being Brahman, the seer, with nothing to see and no obeisance to be offered to a guru. Now you can read these verses if you desire.
Yeah, we'll start at 23, which is a little overlap from last time.
Let's do that. I'll just enjoy listening to you.
To me, submerging myself in the peerless ocean of bliss that is the one supreme Brahman, and sporting therein to the heart's content, all thirst slaked, all fatigue relieved, becoming that itself, and established in the indivisible. There is not a thing to see as a part. Sadguru, true Guru, how generous is your grace, saving me from sorrow and bathing me in beatitude. Should I bow to you today, it would be separating the two, and hence that bow should not be. Or if I bow to myself, it is fruitless, and hence that, too, should not be. Should I bow today to you, ever the one, conceiving duality, you will call me an ignoramus. Can there be duality in the immaculate state? Blemish, blemishless Sadguru, true Guru, should I now, in dichotomy as you and I, bow to you with reverence, I shall be doing a distinct disservice to myself by introducing a delimitation. Is not the idea of difference the foundation for fear? Supreme Guru, hence, on inquiry, I cannot see any courtesy or service I can offer. All being ever one consciousness, the best thing is to be totally silent, motionless as a stone, without delusion or illusory concept, fixed idea or doubt, difference, imagination. In the knowledge of that, the void, firmly remaining by oneself alone. It does not seem to me the part of wisdom to generate any ideas of difference as previously. Affable Guru who has saved me from sorrow and bathed me in beatitude. By the grace of your instructions, all appearances that seem divided are only myself, of the nature of the Supreme Brahman. There is nothing, not a speck, ever, except me, the one, complete and whole. Hence, there is no scope at all for me to render lovingly any service as if one apart. In the era of ignorance of earlier days, I perceived a difference as guru and disciple. In this all-fulfilling realization today, by your grace, I cannot perceive anything apart or different. How shall I describe the splendor of my exalted state? With all contamination of differentiation cleansed and remaining by myself, all alone, with nothing hidden in the nature of the Supreme Brahman, all consciousness. I can feel the listening. Oh, that's very nice. Amba is posing as pure consciousness.
Mm. I was going to say that's your own heart
Yeah.
that's listening.
Mhm. How shall I describe the wonder of my exalted state, free from all created worlds, without any guru or student, with no illusory conditionings like the great delusion? None of the individuals or the Lord, being ensconced in the fearless and peerless as the Supreme Brahman, the meaning of all the great aphorisms. How shall I describe the grandeur of my exalted state, without defect, without an excess, without an error, without any qualities or characteristics, without veiling, without revealing, without mind, without illusions issuing from the mind, without anything else, without anything mine, without a difference, without a thing that can ever be differentiated, becoming Brahman of the nature of knowledge alone. Should I go on? Should I go on? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I also read the next verse.
For me, there's not the least misapprehension of anything apart from me. I exist as Brahman, changeless existence alone, consciousness alone. If there were anything apart from me except me, myself alone, would it not manifest itself? As nothing else is perceived except myself alone, I remain ever alone by myself. you should read.
Yeah. What avails a variety of words by your revelatory discourse? I have become the supreme Brahman, the shining nature, cured of all the complex of seeming differences. By receiving the changeless, undivided, supreme knowledge that all is Brahman and that am I, my master, who has risen up as an embodiment of grace and bathed me in beatitude. How great is your grace, how great.
What's so beautiful there is you've found a way to express it without distinctions.
Mm-hmm.
Is not is the master is not some other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an appearance.
Mm-hmm.
The embodiment of grace.
Yeah, has risen up as an embodiment of grace. It's like just came out of nothing, which is the case. We just have extra stories around it. Like being born and all that kind of story. Oh, there is not a trace of the illusion of differences. Oh, there is none of the delusion or the cosmic intellect or creation or such. Oh, there is not a trace of thought or such. Oh, there is nothing as individuals or such. Oh, there is not a trace of confusion. Oh, there is not a trace of attachment. Oh, there is nothing whatsoever, anywhere. Oh, all is indeed the undivided Brahman. It's like, oh. It's like when he's saying it, he's totally experiencing it at the same time, isn't it? Like you can feel that with the oh. It's not even oh, it's like oh, but you can't like reading it, it's like you can't be doing that because it would feel like you're like an actor or something like oh, it's like this. That's what it really is though. Oh, what shall I say of the greatness of the Guru? Oh, what shall I say of the greatness of the treatise? Oh, what shall I say of the greatness of this knowledge? Oh, what shall I say of the greatness of the sage? Oh, what shall I say of the greatness of the sublime? Oh, what shall I say of the greatness of peace? Oh, what shall I say of the greatness of Brahman bliss? Oh, what shall I say of the greatness of my bliss? Oh, I indeed am the supreme Brahman, the eternal. This is him giving the answers to all the things. What shall I say? And now this is him saying it. Oh, I indeed am the supreme Brahman, the pure. Oh, I indeed am the supreme Brahman, the enlightened. Oh, I indeed am the supreme Brahman, the liberated. Oh, I indeed am the supreme Brahman, the blemishless. Oh, I indeed am the supreme Brahman, the motionless. Oh, I indeed am the supreme Brahman, the defectless. Oh, my master, how great is this grace of yours? How great. I agree. It's like someone say, I second that, but you can't second it because you're not a second. That's the whole point. Yes, these words are my own. That's all what we can say. And that's the whole point why we like listening to masters, because they do speak what's true for all of us, isn't it? Because they're speaking from the heart, and the heart is one only.
Hmm.
Apart from seeing all the illusory appearances as Brahman, there is nothing else that I see apart. By this intense, definite certitude, I have become the supreme Brahman, all consciousness. Thus have I conveyed the conclusion in my mind. There is not the minutest doubt in this. Peerless Sadguru, true Guru, fearlessly ruling me completely, is now your responsibility. That's a nice affirmation, isn't it?
It's
Fearlessly ruling me completely is now your responsibility. Or not really a affirmation, but a, like he says, a conclusion in his mind.
mm,
That's more of a like conviction than an affirmation. But
well,
affirmation is nice too.
there's no hanging on. There's nothing to hang on to, and there's no one to hang on.
Exactly. Exactly. Having said this, the sage Nadaga abided in the joy of his own peerless nature. Only those who are imbued with devotion to the Guru, along with the devotion to Shiva, will attain liberation. There is not a trace of doubt about this. Sutta addressed the assembled sages thus, in the manner that Skanda earlier with utmost compassion instructed Jaigishavya. It is the infinite form of our supreme Shiva in a state of supremely joyous dance that indicates the attainment of the rare experience of the undivided supreme reality, the declaration of direct experience by Nadaga, and that it is not possible to offer service and courtesy to the Guru as there exists nothing except the Absolute. It sounds very glorious, and it is very glorious. But bringing it back to like how we experience our everyday lives and all, like what that really means is when you recognize that there's only the absolute, you don't need to be bound to a guru and all of that. Really, that's just like the freedom to totally be yourself. That's what it means, like in a it's not really the freedom to be yourself, it's like the freedom almost to let that body mind be itself. Like that body mind that we seemingly see and like that we've taken ourselves to be, but we recognize that actually we're not just that. We're that and more than that and everything else in between. But like we don't have to try to control that anymore. So in a way, that body mind is completely free in a way to, there's no sense of control anymore. So that's kind of practically what it means. Like there's no, like if you feel like you are a body mind, you might be kind of feeling like you're in the body mind. Like I know you might not always be like that. No, I don't like that. Because you could also be like, not at all. But like there's still a sense of like me and other. But like when that gets less and less, it's like just that expression is free because it's the expression of God, isn't it? So there's no division between a me and a God anymore. So until there's no division, even that expression can't really be free.
it really does feel in our meetings that you're bathing me in beatitude. And to just parse that only a little bit further, it's just so easy instead to say, well, there's just the beatitude, and
Yeah,
isn't it beautiful? Yeah.
there's just the beatitude because that's the whole point. There is no you and me. I'm bathing here. I'm bathing in the beatitude with you.
I will admit to being feeling very compelled by hearing Amba read "Oh" over and
Yeah.
over.
Oh. Oh. And also,
Yeah.
like, oh, sorry. I just wanted to
No,
say, like,
please.
experientially, when we're reading these things, because sometimes they can sound very like I was talking to my partner recently, and he said we were saying, I don't know exactly what we were saying, but we were saying like something along the lines of it's so simple. Like you just be here now and that's enough. Like he was like, yeah, yeah, it is enough. And he's like, but sometimes when I read those kind of texts, if I read some spiritual texts, I somehow pick up the idea that there's something else, or there's some other state to like achieve something more, and I think sometimes these texts can sound like that somehow, but really they're not. So that's why we kind of have to translate them for what they mean to us. Like, what's our experience of that? Like, how does it look to us? Because we can read it and totally understand it. But like, so what was coming to me was when we were reading about the no distinction, like just somehow what was coming is like maybe the mind continues to play a distinction game, like that's just what it does. But like it really doesn't matter. So he's talking about here, he's speaking from that place that doesn't distinguish. And that's what we're recognizing, when we hear the words. But it doesn't necessarily mean that the mind game has to completely stop. You can still do it. Like it doesn't matter. It's like you just know that it's like a seeming, or like it's just doing that. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't mean anything. It's just playing around, like kind of like a child playing imagination game. Like you're not going to stop them. Don't do that. Don't imagine it's not real. It's like that's just what the mind wants to do. Like it's fine. It's okay. And in a way, it kind of like it can help even to like when you recognize that it's not true. It can help in a way to just for the flow of life in the game. So I can talk to you as if you're someone else in a different place. Whereas if I start to take everything, and start to express like that, like it's going to be really annoying for most people. It's like, but I'm you. And like, so someone asked me, do you want a cup of tea? Do you want a cup of tea? You can ask yourself that, like, or just kind of silly stuff. So you kind of have to play out and pretend almost like as if there's differences. And that's okay. Like, that doesn't have to be a problem. It's more just like the recognition of that which is true that's here, and the seemingly untrue. So he even said it himself somewhere. I don't know where he said it, or at least this is what I heard. We hear it through our own minds, isn't it? Where did I hear it now? I don't know where was it. Wait, I'll give up now. Hmm.
Let me see if my eyes take me there.
I can't remember exactly, but I just remember when you were reading, it kind of gave me that sense. Like he was kind of saying the seeming differences, like are playing or something. I can't remember exactly what words it was. But anyway, that's what the way my mind heard it. It's like it really doesn't matter if things seem to go on, or it's like like when you're, because your mind is there still in a way. Sometimes when I say that, I remember um Ma Deviki. She lives in Arunachala in Tiruvannamalai. She's a devotee, you could say, if there's such a thing, because there's no such thing as disciple, is there? But she is a disciple and one with Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar. I don't know if you know him. But anyway, she expresses in a very different way than anyone else I know. But she says, that she was kind of comparing the mind and the self to two metals in a way. I don't know what she was saying, like iron and copper or something. I don't really know. But she was kind of saying, really, she was saying like the mind will always be there. Like it's never going to completely be gone in this world. Like as long as you see the world, like there's always a little bit of a play of the element of mind. And I don't know, like if I could remember her exact words, I'm sure it's very profound. I can't. But I remember the essence of it. But it's like it doesn't have to be a problem. I feel like sometimes when we're in that state of trying to discover our true self, we can make out as if the mind is a big problem, and it's in our way and all. But really it's not. The mind is a great for serving us, really. It serves us very well. And once you see that it's an illusion and it's not true and it's just playing games, the games of differences and games of perception and personality and all these kind of different things, then like it's not, you can just kind of laugh at it and enjoy it and use it even. And it does, it serves us well,
Mhm.
as long as the
Yeah, I mean,
seeming
like,
play goes on.
yeah, and like here, and occasionally when the insight comes, it's a relief, like we've been saying all
Hmm.
these weeks. It's a real let go. So,
Yeah.
that seems to be something
Mm.
that isn't so. Mm, mm. Nadaga is not done celebrating. The next
No.
chapter, he says even more.
What's the
Excuse
next
me.
chapter?
The next chapter, 41, Nadaga's narration about becoming the Brahman of truth, knowledge, bliss, infinite.
Well, I'm sure it'll be fantastic.
Tune in next
Yeah.
week. When I was a kid, we used to watch the original Batman on
Hmm.
TV.
Yeah, they
And
said that at the end, didn't they? Like, what's going to happen next week?
my
Mm.
um, my brother and I loved it so much, we made our parents come in. This is before we could even read. We made our parents come into the room and read the credits at the beginning because we didn't want to miss a thing.
Wow. Even all the
And
names of the people?
exactly.
Wow.
And then at the end,
Hmm.
the narrator would come in like we just did, and he'd
Oh,
say, "Same bat time,
yeah.
same bat channel."
Yeah.
So this is the same timeless bliss.
Same timeless place. The same timeless sounds with the same timeless one. Your very own self.
Beautiful.
Also known as Ribhu, Nadaga, Muji, Anata. Please fill in the blank for your own master. Thich Nhat Hanh. Thich Nhat Hanh passed away today. Did you hear that?
Oh no, I saw his face on the news as it flew by as I was
Mm.
preparing my browser here, but no,
Hmm.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he passed away today.
Well, to have um, just echoed, so much compassion for all beings
Mm.
at the end of his physical life is that's if aspiration is something worth having, then
Mm.
that's it.
Mm.
Mm,
Yeah. Thank you for being here today. Appreciate it.
mm.
Namaste. And after speaking about no bowing to the guru and all of that, I'll still say all obeisances to the guru. Om Namah Shivaya.
Amen.
Can't help it, you see. Yeah.
So maybe next week. I know you're busy, but I'll reach out. Maybe Friday, maybe Saturday, whatever works for you.
Yeah. I think Saturday is probably better.
Okay.
Fridays tend to be quite busy. So yeah,
Okay.
Saturday will be good.
As you mentioned the possibility of doing a podcast,
Mm.
what my mind began to spin up was a non-fungible token, or NFT. And you can take a recording, either audio or audio and video,
Mm-hmm.
and create a non-fungible token. And basically, you've got something then that you can just give to people.
Mm.
And as they pass them around, they actually become valuable, but you retain a piece of ownership. It's curious. I'm just now starting to explore. So that's what
Okay.
popped up on this side as you mentioned it. And, happy to help in any way that I can.
That didn't really land anywhere in my mind because I didn't understand.
No
But it's
problem.
okay. You can send me
No
a
problem.
message and I can research it or something.
The point being that it's possible to create a recording that you can give away to people that they can then share with others. It's
Okay.
that's
That
that's the
sounds good.
essence of it. Yeah. Now,
That's the whole
if
point in putting anything for me. That's the whole point in putting anything onto the internet. It's just like you just give it. I don't feel like I own anything.
understood,
Like, I mean, I
understood.
might own something. I own my own bed. I hope. But anything that's on the internet, I feel like it's for everybody. I don't feel
There
like
you
I
go.
have any right to anything.
Okay.
So I'm happy.
In terms of technical help,
Mm-hmm,
what I can do, and I'm certainly not a professional at this, but I have friends who can
mm-hmm,
help me, is
mm-hmm,
that when I have an audio file, right, I
mm-hmm,
have the recording itself,
mm-hmm.
I can sort of help engineer it to take out noise and amplify it just slightly.
Oh yeah.
Like going from just your computer microphone to the headset microphone is a help.
Mm-hmm,
And then what I can take help doing is taking the initial recording and cleaning out noise and sort
mm.
of boosting the levels a little bit.
I think I can do all that. I'm not sure, but I have played with stuff like that before now. I wouldn't say I'm wonderful, but I'm kind of learning as I go. I have like an
Okay,
audio editing thing, so
excellent.
but you can let me know if it's terrible.
Uh,
And if you think you can do a better job or if you'd
well,
like to do, I don't
well, the headphones I think really do give a nice boost to the audio, so that's
know. Oh, okay,
an excellent step forward. And
that's good.
to me, the way it's coming across now is really nice and crystal clear.
Okay, that's really good to hear. And
Is
I'd
there
love to
are
have a meeting with you sometime for that podcast. Would you be open to that?
Sure,
Yeah, so we'll find a time sometime, I don't know, in the next week or two. I don't know,
absolutely.
when week or two or three. There's no rush.
Okay,
Sometime.
yeah,
Yeah. I have a few lined up. So I have
great,
two. I have two lined up.
great, great.
Yeah.
Well, the sound of Amba's voice in my ear is very musical, almost psychedelic, very pleasant.
That's good.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, till next time.
Yes, thank you so much.
Mm,
I wish you a beautiful day. Good morning. Good morning, good evening, and good night, as they
love you.
say on the Truman Show. Bye. Love you too.